What is up, YouTube? And welcome back to jojoSPEAKS. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. I appreciate all of your support, all of your views, all of your likes, comments, and everything that you give to this channel. Thank you guys so much. A couple things I want you guys to do for us before we get started. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Press that big red subscribe button. It is free to do. So if you could please do that for us. Also, make sure you give us a thumbs up on this video. We want to see a couple this time, you guys. Also, leave us some comments. Let us know your opinions on the topics that we're discussing tonight. Also, give us some suggestions on what you'd like to hear us discuss in the future. Also, make sure you press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And make sure you share jojoSPEAKS all around. Share it on your social media platforms with your family, friends, and loved ones. Our co-hosts are back, Jennifer, Tyrone, and Mike. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all?
Hello.
Hey.
The fam is back once again, back together as one. As one. Unfortunately, I have to start off with a sad note. Rest in peace to an extremely talented young man who was the runner-up of American Idol last year. His name is Willie Spence. He went viral a couple of years ago by singing Rihanna's song Diamonds. And he also sang that song for his audition. And he is amazing. If you have not heard this young man sing, make sure you find him on YouTube and listen to his American Idol performances because all of them are spectacular. Unfortunately, he was only 23 years old, taking care of his family. Y'all just send all of your love and prayers and support to his family because they definitely need it. But RIP to that amazing young man with amazing talent. So on to our first hot topic. Our first hot topic has to do with Miss. Hey, Regina, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Our first hot topic is Miss Nicki Minaj. So super freaky girl. She submitted this song to the rap categories. Hey, Tammy, thank you so much for joining us. She submitted that song for the rap categories. However, the Grammy committee decided to move that particular song to the pop category. Now, Nicki Minaj went on live and she wanted to discuss her grievances concerning this issue. She made the example that Drake won Hotline Bling. He won the best rap song for the song Hotline Bling, although he was singing through a majority, if not the entire song. So what do you guys think of the Grammys? The Grammys changing Nicki's song from rap to pop? And Nicki also said they always move the goalposts. They always move the goalposts when it comes to her, saying like they're trying to make it so that she doesn't win a Grammy. But what do you guys think?
I mean, I would be mad if I was Nicki Minaj. I'm a rapper and you're putting me in a pop category. It doesn't matter if I sung the chorus or not. I rap the song. So I would be definitely upset and pissed off to the highest, to the 10th power if I was Nicki Minaj. And if the boys do it, why can't the girls do it?
Right. Yeah. Jennifer, Tyrone, do you have any thoughts on this issue? Do you think it's a double standard? Do you think that she's being treated in a worse way as opposed to her fellow artists?
I have hot takes and I'm a little nervous. Even just looking at my friend Mike over there, it looks like he's already unhappy with what I'm about to say. So what I will do is mention this. Justin Talks Film is here.
Hey Justin, thank you so much for joining us.
He says, "Hi, jojoSPEAKS crew. Nicki is not a happy person. She had a blessed life, and all she can see are grievances."
Wow.
Well, this is her job. I think she has a right to feel upset about putting in so much work for years and being recognized for something that is not the lane she's in.
And she has been recognized for everything. In almost every
she has never received a Grammy at all.
She just hasn't received a Grammy.
I think if Lil' Kim was given a Grammy for best pop song, that she would feel upset too, and people will understand.
Agree.
So Okay, Tyrone. Me and Tyrone talked about this before we even got on here.
Oh
I actually
wow.
watched a video that Nicki Minaj did, talking, basically stating how she felt and
Right.
how it's a rap song, and how Big Energy with Lotto is still in the rap category. But if you compare the two songs, they pretty much, and I do agree, they pretty much are like on the same vein, and maybe that should be considered pop as well. Um,
Hmm.
so I'll say it like this: I do agree it's wrong for the Freaky Girl song to be in the pop category. I agree with that because she is certainly rapping throughout the song. I don't understand why it was moved to the pop category. That doesn't make sense to me either. But one thing I do understand, I do believe, oh Lord, I'm gonna say it.
Just say it.
Just say it, girl.
I do believe that there are people that don't wish her well,
But that's every artist.
but I think
Agreed.
it's worse for her. And I think it may be as a result of not all that great business practices on her end.
So you're saying it's more political?
I certainly think it is, because if you think about it, the way that people win Grammys are your peers making those votes.
Right.
If you think about all the people that are available to vote for a Grammy, they're the people that are around her. And if you treat the people that are around you not all that well, maybe they will make sure that you're not getting things that you want.
Well, I will say I think there's a difference between the Grammy committee that makes up the nominees as opposed to those who actually vote for the winners.
And that's another thing I do agree with too. Say what? Because Tyrone be knowing. Say words.
I was gonna wait my turn, but okay. It's my understanding, basically, there is a committee that comes up with the nominees. Those are made up of members of the Grammy body, period, which
Right.
are made up of your peers
See?
Gotcha.
initially. Then there's a mass vote,
Right.
also from your peers. She was definitely done wrong in
I
this
agree.
sense because
I agree.
this is a primarily rap based song. Even if you can misconstrue the little background vocals that's adding to her rap on the chorus,
But it's still mainly rap.
but every verse is a complete rap.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And it doesn't make any
No
sense
singing.
that she was moved out of rap into pop. I think that is a strategic move done by the powers that be that kind of, I don't know,
Keep her where she is without a Grammy.
Yeah.
What
If
if it's not
if
about
I
her?
agree-
What if it's maybe somebody else in the category who's paying somebody because it never happened before? What if it's one of these new artists paying somebody to put her, try to get her to win?
Well, Nicki need to find the right people to pay then.
See,
She
that's one of my theories too. Is like,
but why she
you
want
put
to do
her
that?
in
She want to do
pop
the right
to
thing.
kind of give her an opportunity
But
to
since
win
when
in
has she done the
pop,
right thing?
but no.
Well, I don't know the backstory. I'm not saying I followed Nicki Minaj's career. I have not one album. I never went to one concert. I'm just saying, okay.
Right. Agreed. Same here.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, actually, no. I did
I'm
see
just-
Nicki Minaj live at a club
Yes.
once. I did see.
well,
I
I
did
wish
pay
she
to
had
see her
the
one
Back when
time.
she was signing boobies.
Right. Yes. Literally signing boobies.
I'm just saying that it could have been any rapper. I don't even Lil Kim. If Lil Kim came with a rap song that I did not care for, and they put her in the pop category, I'm sure she would have an issue also. You don't see them putting Mary in R&B categories. They should be.
Right. Yeah. I do agree that the
High
song
Tribute
is
should be in a category of pop.
right.
We think contemporary gospel.
Right. Yeah. I think the Grammys will probably use the excuse that the audio, as far as the music or the production is concerned, is
Yeah.
leaning towards pop. And they can, I guess, they can kind of hang their hat on that.
But
But
It's
still,
no way they can.
It's still wrong.
I can't go for that
Right.
because Big Energy is very
Are
heavy
we loud?
pop.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't think so.
And to me, I'm talking about as far as the production of it.
It don't matter. She's
The
Nicki Minaj.
rap
She's a
of it is
rapper.
rap.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't. They
Yeah.
didn't put Beyonce song that she's speaking fast in a great category, and I would have felt real bad about that. I'm like, what the? Now you the hit with F bombs then, okay?
Right.
Yeah, Beyonce gonna be in the spoken word category.
But it's rough. Okay, Ty. That's tread lightly.
Uh-oh.
Beyonce, you don't.
No.
That's the on
I'm
top
not
of
trying
Minaj.
to stick out the beehive, okay? I'm just saying.
But Regina says, but if she wins in that category, it's still a win for her, right?
No, it doesn't
It
matter
is
if
not.
it's a win. It's not a win. If I spent my whole career, my life, my childhood practicing to be where I need to be at in my career, I carried the game for at least 10 plus years, being the only female rapper in the game, holding it down for all the ladies, and you're gonna recognize me as a singer in pop? Now I might be young now because I'm passionate about this. I won't be recognized for what I put my work in for.
Absolutely. And
I'm sorry, I'm not getting mad at you guys.
it's okay.
We understand.
I had me a good nap.
I understand.
And also she did give a really good position on it.
Yeah.
When talking about what's that y'all name? Drake, when
Right.
he got
Highlight
best
Bling.
hip hop. But yeah, best rap.
Best rap song.
Bling. And he wasn't rapping throughout the whole song. He sang the whole song.
Majority of his music is singing.
Nobody was saying for that particular song, it should not be nominated nor have won for best rap song. He said that himself, because there was no rapping in that song. He was talking about ever since I left the city, you.
And let's get let's just say that she has mine. Let's say if she was a singer song and there's a rap part in the song, that maybe the rap part was more bigger than the entire song. Would that be in the rap category then? If it's a singer doing that song, how would that singer feel?
Well, it'd probably be in the best rap song collaboration category.
It would be in the collaboration category.
Tammy says having a Grammy nomination, no matter the category, isn't enough gratitude. I know what you're saying, Tammy.
Yeah.
We all get it.
We get it.
But, I do go with what Mike said. Basically, you're fighting for hip hop. You're hip hop. You've been doing this all your life, but you get recognized for your first Grammy if she won. Get recognized for a pop song.
And she's not speaking about being nominated. She doesn't mind being nominated. She's thankful for being nominated in a rap category. She doesn't win. Of course, she doesn't win, but let's get nominated in what I work hard for.
Right. Like
at your job, you can recognize cleaning the toilets and you don't clean the toilets at all.
I don't think we're going to act like Nicki is going to give the Grammy back if she wins a pop category. I think we all know that she's going to be happy with that.
Well,
but
I'm going to take it, and I'm going to let my.
Here's the thing about that with Drake. That was actually an honor for him to receive that. This is more of a slap of a face to her.
Regina's comment right now has me on the floor.
Exactly. But did they put Beyonce's song "Church Girl" in the gospel category?
No.
Oops, I had to ask it. It would be. I would
It
have
would have been nice.
I would
it
have
would have been real nice.
Featuring Twinkie Clark.
Right.
We want a Grammy.
Would have been rolling. I wish they would have did that. That was
the new break. Okay.
Ow.
Oh my God.
Yes, come on, contemporary gospel. Yes.
What she got to say now?
No. I can only dream of the smile that would come across Beyonce's face.
I was your smile. That same look she gave Kanye West when she did it Taylor Swift. It'll be the same look she'll be giving. She might not show up. She's good for not showing up.
Because we ain't got.
I ain't got no time. I'm booked.
Beyonce got 30 plus Grammys. I don't think she will be upset if she gets one more in the gospel category, y'all.
I think she wouldn't. I don't think she would. she wouldn't be upset. I think people would be upset for sure.
Right, of
I'd
course.
be laughing.
Now
I'll be surprised and I'll be scared what's gonna come after that because I know the shade room comment room will be on it.
is Donda technically?
They put him in gospel categories. Yes, they did
because that was a gospel album.
Like
Yeah.
but he's rapping, and there's like gospel rap.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, because
Oh, no,
you typically
like,
don't see gospel rap being
you don't get
nominated
it.
in the rap
You don't get
categories.
Let me do my Googles.
You typically don't see rap.
Don't
You
see
typically don't see gospel rap in the rap categories, and so I think that's why Kanye West's Donda album was not in the rap category because it's like origin is gospel. I think that's just the way that I'm going with it.
I don't know if you guys follow the same TikToks I be following, but it's this lady called Miss CEO. And this reminds me of Miss CEO giving Nicki Minaj a Grammy right here, like giving her the bare minimum. This is how it feels.
Yo, Tyrone, that's the live that we were watching.
We was just watching that the other day.
One time, Miss CEO was live, and it was hilarious. They were talking about, I'm gonna be late for work. Well, they, when you come back,
for Columbus
make sure you
Day.
pick up your
the last check
because it's your last time.
Okay,
It's like your bills have been affected.
Yes. The other she said, I want to sound like somebody who's driving 3 hours to catch the bus to work. Then you got a bag of chips at the bus station. Yes, we'll give you a bag of chips. And thank you for showing up to work and thank you for being so dedicated.
Okay. Here's the last one. I ain't gonna say no more about this, but I love her. They were asking about a raise. I'm looking for a $2 raise. And she said, the first thing you need to do is work here for 40 years with no tardies on your account. Then after that, you have to fill out an extensive report. I need stool samples. I need urine samples. I need all the samples. I need blood samples. I need hair samples. I need...
Yes, I'm like, who working this job?
Right, 40 years.
40 years.
I'll have to send y'all. I love the CEO. Anyway,
Boston CEO. Yes,
I used to think it was Boston, Boston CEO. I'm so.
Yeah.
Let me speak to your manager.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we're best friends.
We're best friends. He was talking about at I think Walmart or someplace, or was it Versace? Whatever. I'm best friends with them, and they get a 90% discount.
A 90% discount. Okay. Yes.
And when I say we, I do mean me.
Okay. I'm the only one to receive that discount. I'm the only one being treated that way. I am the friend of the manager and owner. I'm sorry, y'all.
Now, look at this.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay. I'm not sliding my card until I see that discount go through now.
Ciao. Anywho, the juice ready. Did I click it again?
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry.
2 times.
There we go.
Put Beyonce in the pop category because people was popping off about her new album. Well, she's been in the pop category many times and won actually.
Right. I Am Saucer Fierce won Best Pop Album.
Yeah, and I think, she's a pop singer. She's not in any category, to be honest. But, let's not talk about Beyonce because it's not about
Beyonce. They don't know how to.
Well, what happens is a lot of times those mega music stars tend to be put into the pop category, and that's just the way that it is for the most part. I don't think Rihanna gets nominated for pop most of the time. I'm not sure if she really ever gets nominated for R&B songs. So it is what it is. What's the next comment, Jennifer?
I was about to say Rihanna. Regina says 40 years. I hope she throws in the mule too.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a really great character. She just basically is a horrible boss. I love it.
Horrible.
Yes, I need to look her up. Miss CEO, is that her name?
No, I'll have to send you a video because that's certainly not the name of the person.
Okay. Please do.
It's just a dude in a really great makeup situation. Okay, not to say the best makeup situation.
Just a wig and some lipstick.
A wig and some lipstick.
Okay. I got you.
It's called Miss Boston CEO. I think that's what I know what she go by, but what's the next category while we find that?
Right. So next up, we have so the January 6th committee has unanimously subpoenaed former President Donald Trump to testify. So are we expecting anything besides pleading the fifth from Mr. Trump? Do we think we're going to get anything out of Mr. Trump? Do you think he's going to actually show up?
I expect him doing what he called the lies again that people were telling when people were telling truths.
Fake news?
Yeah, I've seen him providing fake news from him and a lot of blame towards everybody else if he shows up. Right. I don't feel like I see any accountability coming from Donald Trump, no truths coming from Donald Trump, no just anything coming from Donald Trump. He's a low-hanging fruit in my eyes.
Amen.
Gotcha.
I absolutely do not expect anything from him. Especially being that they're bringing him in to testify. When has he ever testified? We all know he's just going to take the fifth, okay? Because there are so many amendments, and he only has just one that he wants to choose, and it is the fifth. And he keeps on choosing the fifth. And to be honest, I believe that's the best thing that he can continue to do, because he will continue to incriminate himself no matter what goes on. So I just pray that the evidence prevails.
True. Yeah. I'm thinking that he's probably going to challenge the subpoena, much like Lindsey Graham did for Georgia, Steve Bannon did for the January 6th committee. I'm sure he's going to challenge it. I don't know if he'll be successful in his challenges, as I don't think anyone else recently has been successful in those challenges. But Tyrone, do you have any thoughts on this issue?
It is, I think, going to fuel his base even more. Especially the fact that he will dodge all of it and won't say a word on the record simply because I'm the former president and I ain't got to, is his attitude.
Well, that should be all the reason you should have to.
Right, exactly.
And even through all of his interviews that he's been having, he's been incriminating himself every time he's opened his mouth. Even with his Trump rallies that he's been having, he's incriminated himself every single time, doing his best to try to make himself look like he is fine or whatever, but he's apparently off the leash.
Because, he'll probably say something witty like, well, all of this is classified because I was the president. And you can't ask me that.
And also, he did mention that he declassified those particular documents by thinking about it.
That's how you can
do it. I was thinking about declassifying it, and they're declassified because I am the president. The people that he has around him still refer to him as president, not former president.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of his.
Well, I can't get mad about that. Yeah. My president is still Barack Obama, and forever will be.
Okay. Forever First Lady, Miss Michelle Obama. Okay, she's always First Lady in my mind. Okay, I can get that.
So
gotcha.
I give him that.
Right. So next up we have,
and that's it.
Right. So the sentencing for the Parkland school shooter from 2018 has commenced. He was facing the death penalty. However, the vote, I don't know what the jury vote was. I'm not exactly sure, but the jury has decided against the death penalty and have given him life without parole. He killed 17 people. I believe the majority of them were students. I think 3 of them were teachers. So I'm going to put you guys on the spot. For someone who kills 17 people, if you were on that jury, would you have given him the death penalty? I'll go first. I will say, although I do agree with the death penalty, I do believe that there are cases in which the death penalty should be recommended. However, at the end of the day, I feel as though life without parole is a worse sentence because you will live your life, the rest of your life, in prison. Whereas, with the death penalty, of course, you'll have looming over your head the fact that you're going to die. Of course, that could be worse in some cases for some people than others. But I do feel that life without parole is the worst sentence of the two. What would you guys have given them?
He should have been in jail like 20, been in prison 20 years, then with that hanging over his head, then killed. Like just be scared every day that what day I'm gonna die, and then killed.
Gotcha.
For me, I would not go for the death penalty. I would rather life with no way of getting out, no parole.
But either or, I mean,
Gotcha.
but
Tyrone. Well, see, what's your judgment?
Yeah, I think that is the right call. However, I would think about doing some little bit of corporal punishment on top of it.
Spanking?
Ooh.
You know,
they do that still?
no. That's just me.
Oh,
I'm gonna add some corporal punishment on top of it.
I mean, I'm just trying to. If I was a family member of one of these people who have got killed, if I'm the mother of, or the father of, or either or of the child that was killed, I think I would either want to. I would want him killed,
Right.
and I want to see it done.
Like I do feel like if someone who was very, very close to me were murdered, I probably would want that person to have the death penalty. Like if I were in that situation, my anger would probably push me towards that particular opinion. But his life was spared thanks to this jury, so we will move forward. For those of you who have been living under a rock, the Jeffrey Dahmer case has been put on Netflix, directed and written and produced by Ryan Murphy. There's been a little bit of backlash by the family members of his victims, saying that they are having to relive the terrible travesty that they had to go through. They actually reenacted the sentencing where victim impact statements were made, and the woman who was most vocal and most animated, she actually spoke out and said, "It took me right back to that day that I confronted Jeffrey Dahmer to his face." To me, I actually watched, there are 10 episodes of this particular series. I watched episodes 7 through 10. I did not want to see him doing whatever he was doing to these men, especially because the majority of them were black and brown men. I just did not want to see it. I cannot bring myself to see it. But I did watch 7 through 10, which covered the court and him being finally apprehended. I understand the family's issues with this. I understand what they're going through, and they're feeling like, these people are just making money off of our pain. I don't see it that way. However, I do understand what they're feeling. Do you guys feel the same way?
I mean, I can understand how they feel. I mean, I'm sensitive to their feelings. I think it should have been. It's no way they can reenact something that's so horrendous,
right?
And the families of the families of the people who were killed, not feel any type of way. I mean, it's something that you can do. But I think it is a good story to put out there to people, especially the LGBT people,
right?
Because I think he was after majority of the LGBT people,
right?
So I'm not sensitive to their feelings. I'm not being unsensitive to their feelings, but
right.
I can understand why they would feel some type of way, but the story has to be told and done. And I watched 1 through 10.
Wow.
I didn't know. Before I watched it, I never knew what Jeffrey Dahmer was.
Wow.
And now, after I watched it, I am definitely more careful with anybody making my drinks. I'll tell you that. Yeah, that was definitely the first episode had me sitting in one spot for the first 43 minutes.
Ooh,
just could not move, and
wow.
you don't see any of the things, but you can. It's nothing left to the unknown. Just basically
because we know what happened.
Yeah, you know what's going on, and it just amazes me. I mean, it was just I was stunned, but I'm more stunned watching it at the mother going to that young black man's sister and asking them to have forgiveness and say that Jeffrey has an issue. I
Right.
was like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, you know, he didn't get the death penalty, but we saw what happened in there.
Right. Yes, he was murdered by a fellow inmate. He was
Yes.
bludgeoned by a lead pipe, I believe it was, while he was doing his work duty. I don't know. I guess they didn't have the death penalty on the table. Either that or his state didn't have the death penalty.
Well,
I'm not
they
sure.
killed somebody else. Didn't they kill somebody else in the movie? Maybe that's a whole different thing. Oh, no, that's something else that came out. That's something else that came out. Never mind. I'm sorry.
The man who killed Jeffrey Dahmer, he also killed someone else at the same time.
Oh, yeah,
So
I
he
know
killed-
that.
Oh,
It was
okay.
somebody. It was like a whole other court case going on at the same time this movie was showing. And
yes, the killer clown,
the white guy.
Yes, I
Yeah.
can't remember what his name was, but he was the clown, and he lived in Chicago, and he had killed over, I think, 30 men, and they had them all buried in his house. Well, not all of them, but a good majority of them buried in his house. And John Gacy, I think his name is John Walker Gacy. I think I'm not sure. But yes, he was executed the day that Jeffrey Dahmer was actually baptized in prison, which was very interesting. That happened on the 10th episode. Jennifer, Tyrone, your thoughts on this Jeffrey Dahmer series?
So I did like you, Jonathan. I absolutely was not going to be able to watch the first few. So I just, all that I wanted to see was the situation of the people that actually lived in that same apartment complex. The one thing that really stood out to me that we can all kind of take from this is the racism.
Right.
There was a whole lot of racism. The neighbor that could smell rotting flesh coming from
Her air vent.
her vents
Mm-hmm.
was ignored because she was a person of color. And
Right.
the police officers that continuously ignored her, they were pretty much given a pass and still paid while they were not there. So it was the racism for me, and
It wasn't shocking at all.
and it was shocking, especially back then.
Now, if it happened now, I wouldn't be shocked.
You got that right.
Right.
But it's I would hope that more people do pay attention to people's concerns. But it's like Jeffrey Dahmer knew to go to a lower income area where there's African Americans over there, knowing that they won't be listened to, knowing that they won't be heard. And yeah, I didn't watch much of it after. I didn't even make it to the last episode, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I watched every 10 episodes I watched. But I'll be probably more upset after the movie shown. People who are making light of the situation, like the TikToks, make it funny. Even though I have laughed at them too, it doesn't mean it's funny to the victims.
Right.
I will be.
It's tasteless.
It is tasteless. I didn't mean to laugh. I was watching the TikTok back in my mind of one of them. They have been funny. The sandwich thing. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to laugh.
Wait, because there was one with
the sandwich, but you
a whole foot.
Yes.
Wow.
Not in real life. In the movie, it wasn't like that. But
of course,
people have been making their own, making a joke about it, and using the voiceovers for it. I'm not eating that because it's like a dead rope come from my neighbor's house. But it's, you know what? I understand. I'll be pissed off about one of the family members. But people have been making fun of things that's not funny for forever. Titanic has been made fun of. The 9/11, which is never funny, has been made fun of. Sometimes you have to find light in a not fun situation to push through. But I feel like it's also a learning lesson for everybody. I'm using it as a learning lesson, and I understand why they're upset.
Right. Tyrone, you have any thoughts on? Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
Bad. I feel. Please pass me, please.
Okay. Tyrone, you have any thoughts on this Jeffrey Dahmer series?
Yeah, I couldn't bear to watch it at all because I followed the news when it first came out,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and for me, it was just reliving what I saw
Oh my
from the news,
gosh.
and I kind of side with the survivors, family members, the family members of the deceased here, because that was a traumatic time for them in real life, and
Right.
I do understand putting this story out there brings awareness of what can happen,
Right.
and we need to be guarded around everybody. Not to the point that we kind of shelter in place and cut ourselves off from the world, but do have that level of discernment to understand that there are some evildoers out there, like George W. Bush would say.
God
Gotcha.
bless you.
And
Let me go into these comments real quick. We need to move this conversation along, honey.
Please.
Okay. Please. Regina says, I have not watched this Dahmer show. Not interested. I agree with the family. It's too tough to remember. And also she says, I don't know why we bought this back. It creates the copycats criminals. And you know what? That
I mean, if we never recreated something that was horrific, then how would we learn from it?
yeah, that's
Right.
actually how I feel. I'm one of those people that watch a whole lot of First 48 as
I
well.
love it.
Yes.
Yes.
I
The
love
best show on A&E,
The
child.
first 48, yes, I can watch that all
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 day
day.
long.
All day
and
long.
and 60 Days In.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, I love that show too.
Okay, and you know who don't mess with? Lieutenant Caroline Mason from Memphis. Yes.
Yes, those
Oh, I don't miss her. Who's that?
She was on the first couple of seasons. She
Oh,
hasn't
the
been on the
black
newer ones
lady.
yet.
The
Yes.
black lady.
Yes.
Yes.
with the good perm and
Yes.
the nails and the right.
She gonna talk some mystery, okay, with her country self.
Okay.
She gonna
Yes.
But it's the ones from ATL, them black ones. I think there was
Hey.
okay, we off topic
The
now.
two boys
but
from
I'm telling you,
ATL, they gonna get you.
are my favorite.
Yes.
They gonna get you.
Atlanta. Whew,
They gonna
okay.
get you.
And
They just so nice.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
it's
With
a
their navy blue pants and that white button up.
let me tell y'all something else as well. One thing I have noticed, Atlanta PD, they have some of the finest black men on that force.
Yes.
Okay.
And
No,
women.
that
And women.
well. Mhm.
They got some fine women on there.
I'm sorry, I don't look at women's like that. But
I didn't know there was none in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
let me tell you
Atlanta
something.
got a deep squad.
So what I would do instead of driving up 75 from work, 85 to 75, right?
Oh, this is my in real life, not the show.
I'm not playing.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay.
Real life.
when I instead of driving that way, I would go through Buckhead to get home, because if it's going to take forever for me to get home, I might as well have some beautiful things to look at. So let me just go through that, right?
Okay.
What APD will be doing, Atlanta Police Department, what they'll be doing is directing traffic because there's so much going on through there. So you get to see these men
Up close and personal. Yes.
And their
While you're
muscles.
driving by. Okay. Okay. I see.
Good
I
job,
see.
Lieutenant.
Yes.
you. I'm coming.
Yes,
I'm coming.
literally.
Yes.
Ooh, Lord. And that's enough. So, but yeah, it's these shows, like even like with the Forensic Files, those snapped shows, things of that
Mhm.
nature. I'd rather learn from those things than have to, because I've heard the name Dahmer. I know that was a bad person,
Right.
but I didn't know how bad that was, exactly how that happened. So I can hope we can use use it as a learning lesson. Regina says, I prefer a nice firefighter, but they don't be out there like that.
Nah, they don't be out.
Right.
They don't be on TV.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Lil Wayne said it best. Miss Officer.
Mrs. Officer, to that lieutenant, get them cuffs off of ya. I'm Kid. My face on every warning poster. I'm wanted by every lady cop all
Yeah,
over.
Joe. Yeah, Joe. He know.
I'm sorry, that's my jam. Bobby Valentino, he did that chorus right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
Like a
is all
cop
the time.
call.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That
let's
was-
move on,
that was a
y'all.
great-
So the Los Angeles City Council president,
Child.
Miss Nori Martinez, has stepped down as president from the council. She hasn't left the council altogether. She just steps down as president after audio leaked of her bashing a colleague's son. Now, this particular colleague is a Caucasian man. However, his son is Black, and his son was on a float during a parade. And she's complaining about his son maybe being a little rambunctious, running around a little bit, doing what kids do. You know what I'm saying? And she called him the Spanish word or the Hispanic word for little monkey. And she stepped down and she has apologized. What are your thoughts on Miss Martinez and her comments towards this little Black boy?
I don't understand. Like, I've never seen a group of kids acting like kids. Even though I may feel like, oh my God, these pretty parents that I never had the nerve to say, oh God, they acting like monkeys.
Right.
I just
Never
that
thought.
never came across my mind. I'm like, God, these kids are wild. What are their parents that they just get their I always come to that terminologies, but they call a kid a black kid at that, a monkey.
What makes it even worse is that the person she was speaking to was a Caucasian man that adopted a Black boy.
The person she was speaking about.
Yeah, this person she was speaking about was a Caucasian that adopted a Black boy. And of course, sometimes when you're speaking to your own kind or who you wish you could be, because that woman is certainly Latina.
Okay.
And that's something that we can certainly dive into one day of how a lot of white passing people do like to attribute themselves to be white as well. So she thought she was in good company. So she called the little Black boy that he adopted a monkey. So that I think it's awesome. I think what's even more awesome is all of the people that were protesting and very upset at the next
City council meeting.
yes, when she was still there. This is before she actually stepped down. And the F word was it was provided over 26 times within that particular council meeting. They said F this, F you, F this whole council. Y'all all need to resign. Stop being effing racist and all that stuff. I really love the response as soon as the LA Post, was it LA Post? As soon as the LA Post put that out,
Yep.
they showed up. And I love that. I love that more than her
They
stuff.
I feel like what?
They protested outside of her house as well.
Love it.
Go ahead, Mike.
I feel like after what happened was not on that F-bomb where kept continuous F-bombs. I think it was probably one black man who just don't give. And he went into the F-bomb and everybody had the consequences and people were like, oh, we can use the F-bomb? Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Can we
No.
can you
Okay.
want to hear it, Jonathan?
They say what?
Did you want to hear it or no?
Sure. Yes. Let's play it. They didn't turn the microphone off on that man. I can just say whatever the F I want to say. Okay, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
All right. I love a good receipt.
I'll say this while she's getting that ready and pulled up. I despise the fact that they continually compare African Americans to animals
Mm.
in everything that we do. And it's like, at some point, when will you see us as being human?
They don't.
Right.
And they won't.
And they don't realize that if African Americans come from animals, then doesn't that mean everyone else comes from animals as well, since we're all a part of the same human race?
Well, have you seen white people's lips and have you seen those monkeys' lips? Who looks more like them?
and we're going to stop comparing. Before I do play this audio, I'm just going to pull up these comments. That's that rap game, JoJo. Are you doing your homage to
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank
I-
you, Regina, for recognizing.
And she also said old folks used to say those kids wayward.
Yeah, they are.
Wayward.
They wayward.
But anywho, just to
Can kids be kids
we're just gonna bring
in
up
2020?
no, they're not allowed to because they get on people's nerves and now they feel the need to actually say it out loud. But anywho, I'm just gonna first say fair use. No, I mean
All that.
look at the bottom, fair use. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, this for commentary
For
use.
commentary purposes,
Critiquing
fair
is what
use.
we're gonna do.
Okay.
Right.
Fair use.
Fair. All right.
Every time was said at the first city council meeting after the LA Times broke the story of public officials saying racist things in a leaked secret chat.
Fucking best. Item 19. I got 3 motherfucking minutes. Want to get into the rough.
You mentioned all up. Fuck you, Mike Bond.
You, De Leon, Nori, the Dio. This whole meeting right here.
Fucking time. The down. Fucking stadium in Las Vegas.
12. You racist motherfucker. And go to
fucking door. Fucking racist. The police and the city council.
Okay. F12. Okay.
Okay.
That'd be a day I went to show up to work. Okay.
And let me
It'd be
tell
like,
you,
Okay.
the first person that they have on there was actually a older Caucasian man that started the F bomb, and I guess when he was able to get away with that, everybody else, there was at least one African American woman. Now, see what I love about African American women, we're specific with our
Right.
attacks. She's the one that said F. She was saying the last names of the different people on the council. F
Right.
this person, F that person, F this person, F. Okay, I'm sorry.
So we're very upfront and blunt.
Okay.
Okay,
we want to F a certain, not everybody, but just certain people right here.
This one.
Okay.
Right. Don't want no mistakes
and what's Dr.
made.
Howard?
Okay.
F you go climb a tree and F something. I forget what she said.
Okay, but I and F racist. Now that was a Caucasian woman, because a lot of people, they like to make it, try to make up for the fact that their whole lineage can.
just trying to get a.
They're trying, and I actually plan to go on YouTube and try to find the whole thing. I want to see the whole thing just so I can
found it.
You found it?
I looked it up right when you said you're gonna find it. I found it. It was right at the top.
Yeah.
Wow, that thing is like 3 hours long. I was like, oh, okay.
I can't wait.
Yes. I have to say, Jennifer, when you said the word Latina, the only thing that came to my mind was Tammy Roman and that bonnet and that cigarette saying, yeah, you can't say it neither, because you Latina.
Okay. She's like, oh my God.
You can't say it either. With that cigarette in her mouth. She did that.
She was all right.
That's why I do love Tammy.
It was just too. It was like a hill that day.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's like she needed that cigarette.
Yeah.
I needed to take a drag from that cigarette as well, just from that
conversation. Right. And the way that it was leaning out the corner of her mouth, like that was perfect.
Everything.
Perfect.
Perfectione. Okay.
Anywho.
You can't say it neither, because you Latina.
That's right.
Before we continue on, nobody mentioned the show, Sherry Shepherd show. Well, she's been named the #1 show in America right now as far as the morning shows in America right now. Yes, that's great. So get
Shout
up to
out
Sherry
to
Shepherd.
Sherry.
She's doing a doggone thing.
Speaking of talk shows, lately on YouTube, I've seen another new talk show that has come across.
Karamo?
Yes, Karamo has his own talk show, and it seems to be like a helpful type of talk show.
It reminds me of Steve, but by a black person.
Yeah, foolishness, but I'm gonna talk some sense into you.
Right.
Yes.
That's it. That's it right there.
It's pretty decent.
Yes.
Yeah, it is pretty decent. I don't think I really.
Maury show.
Say what?
That's why he got a show, because you know Maury's gone now, so he
Right.
can go with Maury.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Mhm.
Oh,
wow. I
wow.
didn't
He
know
got his
that.
studio. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mar
Okay.
retired, so now
Yeah.
nobody know who their big daddies are now.
No.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Look at that
What?
face. Look at that face. Look at that nose.
Okay, look at that mouth. Look at them ears.
Okay.
Okay. Look at that
When it
hairline.
comes when it comes down to Little Jamisha, Ryan, you are not.
Okay, bro, right off the stage, child. There she
And
go.
now it's revealed that you're a whore.
Right.
I'll be back for it. I know who it is now.
But
But
I
yeah,
tell
so
you, paternity
so
court.
yes.
You can't cancel
So
the court.
so congratulations to Karamo on his new show. I've seen a couple of
Yay.
segments and they're pretty good.
And he's part of the family too, his fine self.
Yes, he is.
How
God
you
bless.
doing, Karomo?
Agreed. Yes, because Karamo was probably one of the first, probably one of the first Black gay men that I saw come out on. Well, he was the first Black gay man to come out on The Real World,
Remember that slap?
in reality TV.
You remember
And
that?
he's so
slap?
tall too. Oof.
Right. Like I still remember him telling one of his roommates that he was gay. Like they were just shocked about it. But yes.
Do you remember that slap?
Somebody said to me he slapped somebody.
She slapped somebody on The Real World. She was really annoying. I remember watching that season. So, okay, anyway, the girl that he slapped was a Caucasian young lady that was very annoying. It was actually leaving the house. This was on The Real World.
Mm-hmm.
Child, she was leaving in the car, about to go. He opened up the car door, pop, closed the door. And
Jennifer, that wasn't Karamo.
that was from that.
No, that was Real World Seattle. That man was actually bald. I can't remember what his name was, but that wasn't Karamo. That was
Didn't slap?
I don't think so. That particular instance where the girl was getting in the car and the man slapped her, it was a Black man, but it wasn't Karamo. It was from The Real World Seattle. I remember that specifically. But
Which Real World was Karamo on?
I can't remember, but it was the slap happened before Karamo's season. It was like in one of the first 10 seasons or so. It was really, really early on. But yes, also in other news, Miss Cynthia Bailey and Mike have filed for divorce after a short 2-year marriage. How long was she married to Peter? She was married to Peter for like 5 or 6 years, right?
Yeah, I guess it's Cynthia's fault.
Yeah, child.
We don't mean that. I'm just playing, you guys. Jennifer.
but are we disappointed to see the beautiful couple split ways?
Steven slapped Irene. Thank you, Jonathan.
You're welcome.
And she deserves it.
I think they were together for a short time period. I mean, I guess if you're up in age, you kind of know what you should want, so it shouldn't take too long. So I can't say that, but I think when you are a very busy celebrity, because both of them are very busy and booked and busy, I think they needed more time to get to know each other, spend more time together. You know, Mike Hill lives in California, Cynthia Bailey lives in Atlanta. When they were first dating each other, yes, they might have spent a couple of nights with each other over time, but I think you still need more time. You know, I need to see how you really live. I need to see when you get musty, what do you smell like? You know, how do you clean your house when your maid is not here? Like, I need to know all that stuff. How you are in your leisure time, okay? When you're on your homeboys, how you are? Are you does your eyes wander to the point where your pants may come down? Like, I need to know all this stuff. I need to know who am I about to deal with. And I don't think they fully investigated the time and the time. And I think Cynthia was more hooked on the 10-10-20 date than she was in that marriage. Like,
I think that Mike is certainly right. I believe she was in a bubble, a happiness bubble. Sometimes when we are building a fantasy that we have, we tend not to look at reality. So that's exactly what she was doing. She was stuck in a sweet, sweet fantasy. And she wasn't, I don't believe that she was taking the time to look at the things that need to be looked at for a real marriage, which is why I believe her marriages don't last long. No shade to her. It's just that it's fun love is fun. You know, love is great, but when you get into the thick of having a true relationship, let's take the love out of it. Let's take the sex out of it. Let's take everything else. Are we at least friends? Are we cool? Because from looking at what little bit of that I saw of them interacting, I didn't see a friendship.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, I feel like Cynthia does not speak up when she's not happy. She just quit to say divorce. I don't think she's the kind of person where if she's uncomfortable or not happy with a situation, she's just gonna let it slide on until the point where she just can't take it anymore. She's not the person that speaks up. Unlike me, I'm gonna talk, okay? And you gonna hear
Like,
my mouth.
Right.
Stop spending my money.
Okay.
I love Karamo Brown. Yes, he is great, and he didn't slap anybody.
Right.
And she meant the Fab Five. Fab Five Karamo.
Yes, yes. For what is it? What's that show called?
Something for the straight guy.
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Yes, he was
That's
on the renewal season for.
It was good.
Yeah,
Made
I
me
actually never watched that show.
You
Maybe I should.
should. It's really sweet. Anyway, Regina says when you marry for status and not love, then you will have a time limit on your marriage. I do believe that was status for sure.
Absolutely.
It just
True.
looks good, and he wasn't an ugly man, so
He sure wasn't.
She was one a nice party. He was just a good thing at the Peter Thomas.
yeah, a really good thing,
really good
that's where they
thing.
should have stayed at.
a moment,
Right.
another wedding on TV.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
didn't keep her peach.
Yeah,
But it was definitely for a storyline.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I wouldn't be surprised because she ended up going, being kicked off the show. I think 2 seasons after they got
No.
engaged.
The same season was the last season.
It was
Oh, okay, yeah. So for our last story, Mr. Alex Jones, we spoke about him a couple of weeks ago in his first case, and now he has been ordered to pay $965 million to the families of those who lost their children in the Sandy Hook school shooting. Of course, he was actually live during the time that they were actually saying how much he had to pay to each family. He was saying, "Oh, you get $100 million and you get $50 million," and I believe he actually said, "You're not going to get it." I believe he actually said that. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that he actually said that.
He was talking spicy.
Right. He was talking real spicy. Like he doesn't have to be accountable for, financially accountable.
Yeah.
He said sorry. He said he has apologized many, many times. Not necessarily sincerely, but he has apologized. But he doesn't want to take financial accountability. What are your thoughts, Jennifer?
But even when he apologized, he's still talking like he's still pandering to his audience as still saying it's not real, saying that the judges are being paid, saying that all of this is just an elaborate what's it called, conspiracy against him and all that stuff.
Right.
Like it's just absolutely ridiculous. I thank God that he got hit with that much, and the reason why it was so much is because he basically offended so many parents. A lot of people lost their child that day. That he keeps on saying is fake. And also what makes it even worse, not only is his fan base listening to this stuff and he's spewing this stuff, but his fan base believes it to the point where they're looking to dig up those poor children's graves to make sure there's a body in there.
Right. Yeah.
He deserves every bit that he gets.
It's like, when will you be satisfied? Tyrone, Mike, what are your thoughts on this?
I, for one, will say like this. I don't have pure hate for somebody, but for him,
disgusting.
I wish all the worst on him.
Mm.
I even go to the levels of saying, I hope everything gets taken away from you.
I mean everything.
And I mean everything. Even your shoes, the clothes on your back, all your hair that you still got in the back of your neck.
Right.
Gone.
Just be naked and afraid.
I need somebody to cut a couple of your fingers off and then to say, "Oh no, that didn't really happen. It ain't."
They're still there. Don't you see them?
They're still there. Don't you see them? Don't you still feel them? I need you to lose half of your leg.
Mm.
and them just reattach the foot at the end of it and say you keep on stepping.
Right, and look at you in the wheelchair, like, oh, you're walking real fine right there, Mr. Alex Jones.
Yeah, still alive and kicking.
But I think those are the thoughts of like a true father. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're gonna use my child's tragic death for ratings, for money, for
Monetary gain.
years. And I
Right.
mean, for years,
For
this has
years.
kept him, this one story that he's been doing for years. He gets what he deserves. I'm just excited to see when they start trying to collect like Cardi is.
Right. That's what I want to see them do. I want to see them collect. Mike, any thoughts on this before we close out?
You never win playing dirty. And that's it.
Gotcha. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. Jennifer, you got some comments for you?
We can talk about low vibrational plates next time. I just saw how long we were here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening, you guys. Make sure, again, you subscribe, leave us a like, make sure you comment, and also press the notification bell. Mike, give us your social media contacts real quick. Okay, come on with the voice now. You know you got to give us the voice now. With your...
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Mr. Real121. That's MRREAL, the numbers 121. And if you're single, 1 + 1 = 2.
Yes!
You're so sexy.
That was loud.
It's so sexy. Okay, move on. Oh. Hi, my name is Jennifer McCullum, and I am the light of the Leo for Instagram as well as TikTok. And I also have my own show on YouTube called I Struggle to Be Me, and you can just type in the light of the Leo with that, and you'll be able to find me. Soon you'll be able to type me in the light of the Leo and find me, but that's just how it is for the moment. I'm married to him, so you don't have to get into my DMs. But if you have a question or anything, you can get in there for that. But I'm not trying to get with nobody but him.
Period, Pooh.
They call me he and him, Mr. TD McCullum.
Right,
that is me. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at yours truly, Mr. TD McCullum.
Yay!
Awesome. My name is William Jonathan Lee. My pronouns are also he, him, his. And you can find me on Instagram, JoJo_3020. I'm on TikTok, JoJo_3020_. I'm on Facebook, Jonathan Lee. You can also email me, WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. And I believe that's it. Again, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until next week, when we'll see you again, we're going to say bye. Wait a minute, y'all.
Yeah,
Bye, y'all.
Good.
Hey, Stevie.